Hey everybody, so a lot of you have been asking me for a quicker, easier casserole. You said that a lot of these casseroles look wonderful, you could do them, but you get intimidated sometimes by all the ingredients and all the steps. So today we're going to do basically a white ravioli casserole that's a dump in the pan and go. The only thing we're going to have to do is I'm going to put some rainbow chard in it. You can put spaghetti. You can put chard as I'm doing. You can do any kind of green you want. You can actually leave the green out if you want to. But I found some rainbow chard, and it just caught my eye because this last weekend, I started planting my garden, and rainbow chard is one of the things that I started planting. Now, if I was sauteing this and putting it into a dish, I would also cut these stems up and saute them because they're just as tasty and nutritious, a little bit more nutritious actually than the leaf part. But since it's going to just be baking for a short period of time, they're going to be too crunchy, so we're not going to put those in there. So I'm just going to lay those aside. We're just going to use the leaves today. But yeah, I started doing my garden this weekend, and it feels great. Everything's starting to bloom. I've got flowers coming up, wild violets, my trillium that I was showing you guys pictures of last year if you guys are new to the channel. And let me just tell you a little bit. We're up on the Cumberland Mountains, which is part of the Appalachian Mountains. That's why my name's Cumberlachia Kitchen and Cumberlachia Homestead. We combined the two and made that. And just walking through the woods, things we found, so I thought maybe we misnamed the homestead and should have called it Trillium Homestead, because these trillium that I guess aren't real I don't know, easy to find in a lot of areas, and they say a lot of times it's just in the Smoky Mountains, which is just down not 50 miles, 60 miles from here as the crow flies. But we have trillium growing all over the place here, and I'm finding it coming up again this year already. So that's one of the things that got me thinking I need to get my garden going, because all the plants are starting to grow. But I do need to welcome everybody back and welcome you to our Marching In with Casseroles collaboration, where myself and Mama Vera, we have also 16 other channels, and we're doing videos every day of the week except for Sunday. You'll have a different casserole dish every day. The only thing is today is the Thursday video, and it's supposed to be Daz from my Australian garden and kitchen. And he's from down in Australia. He's been part of my collaboration the last 2 years, and I was really hoping he'd be able to do it this year, and he was too, but he fell and broke his wrist and a couple of fingers. So unfortunately, Daz is unable to be in it. So I'm just going to be the Australian guy today without the accent, and I'm going to do a video in place of his. Now, once you get the Swiss chard leaves, just like if you was doing collard greens or anything like that, the easiest way is just roll it up. And then we're just going to do small slices. Get that. Because you don't want a big old piece. Now this is going to still wilt down in the sauce, so it's not going to be big chunks. You don't want a big old chunk in come up with. Now remember, we rolled it up, so they are still long in the roll up side, so just go down one time in the middle, and now you've cut it all in small pieces. If you want, you can also give it a little bit of a dice this way. If you're trying to hide it from the kids, the greens, or your husband or your wife, whoever you're cooking for, and you just want to make it a little smaller, that's fine. The only problem is we're in a white sauce, not a red sauce, so they're going to see this green, so you're not going to be able to hide it as easily as you normally would. So let me lay my knife over here so I don't get cut. Got this all put together. I'm going to set it over here to the side. I'm going to get my prepared baking dish. I'm going to go over everything we're going to put in it. We got Swiss chard that we just cut up. And usually you can use an alfredo sauce. I found this roasted garlic Parmesan sauce. I thought that sounded good. I know it's a jarred sauce, but you guys are asking for something you guys can throw together really quick. I do have a alfredo sauce on my website. I'll put a link down below to it if you want to make a fresh alfredo sauce. It's not that intimidating. It just takes a little time. But if you want to do something quick, this is as quick as it comes. You got 2 jars of sauce. You got 2 fresh, and I was just using this onion to prop that up there. 2 of the fresh raviolis, and I got the 4 cheese, and I got more Swiss chard on my finger still. But you're going to use 2 of these, and these are the 20-ounce packages. Now, if you're going to get the frozen, do boil them off for about 3 minutes. You'll know when they're done because they're going to start floating to the top. So, but I'm using the fresh, so it goes a little bit quicker. I'm using 2 pints of my chicken that I put up. It's just the white breast chicken that I've shredded up. You can even pick up a rotisserie chicken at the store, shred it. You make 2 or 3 meals out of that. Half of that you could put into this, and the rest of the shredded chicken you could put into another meal. So that's a quick and easy tip right there if you want something fast. I've got Parmesan cheese, and this is just shaved. It's not the powdered. I got basil and parsley, a regular, let's see, thyme, and some chives. So, oh, I'm sorry. We also got mozzarella cheese. So that is actually all you're going to be putting in this. It's going to be very quick. So I'm just going to dump the first package. And I do have the small ones. You can get the larger ones. I wanted the larger ones. They didn't have any. And you can just tile those in and make it nice and pretty. But if you have the small ones, just pour them in here and spread them out. Nice even layer. And like I said, I think I told you, I already prepared this dish. It's already been sprayed. And I'm just going to push these out evenly as much as possible. And then I'm going to take a jar of the sauce, and we're just going to put 1 jar over the top of this first layer. Hope you guys are watching all these videos. Some of these ladies have come up with some amazing videos every year. I don't know how they keep coming up with different ones. So the same old tuna casserole and chicken casserole. They're all coming up with really nice ones. Mom's come up with a few that I wasn't expecting from her. And she has mentioned a couple times how much she's writing all these down and keeping a little journal basically of them, making her own little cookbook. And I talked to her the other night. We was thinking maybe for next year, not this year, this is our 4th year. So for the 5th year, we'll already plan out what we're going to be making for those dishes for Marching In With Casseroles 2025. And put all of the casseroles that we've done in the last 4 years, me and Mom, and the casseroles we're going to do in 2025, put it in a little cookbook and maybe have that available to you. So we're bouncing that idea around. We're just trying to figure out how to get it all put together. So I'm going to take a spatula and just spread this sauce out and get it down in there. I want some seep down into the bottom. And then, let me leave this over here. I don't want to get it. I want to reuse that. We're going to put some of our chicken down. We're going to put about half of it down because we're going to put the other half right on top. And my hands are clean. I already washed them. So all of you freaking out saying I'm touching the food, first of all, you guys aren't going to be eating this. I am. We're not going to be sharing this with you all. I wish I could. If I was sharing this with you, and like I did in the restaurants when I was cooking, I wouldn't be using my hands. But I'm at home, and these are the best utensils that God has ever given anybody, and I like to use them, as my grandma would say. It's the best things we have on the ends of our arms. So there's half of the chicken. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to rinse my hand off again. And then we're going to put about 3/4 of the Swiss chard right over top of this. Like I said, it's going to cook down in there. And it's going to wilt. I may have a little bit much, maybe about a cup and a half on this would be good. But I'm good with Swiss chard, so a little bit extra is not going to kill me. There we go. Now, even though we got the Swiss chard on there, we're still going to season this layer. And I'm going to put probably about a teaspoon of thyme and just sprinkle that across the top. like I always say, you want to lay or season every layer as you're cooking. When you start like cooking ground beef, season that. Put the onion in, season that. You got to add the seasoning as you go, because you're not going to be able to get it in as easy afterwards. Now I'm going to use some of this basil that Mom dried for us last year. There we go. We got the thyme and the basil. I'm going to hold off on the parsley and the chives right now. I am going to put a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and I got the low moisture and shaved really thin because I want this to melt really quick and easy. Because it's not going to be in the oven but about 20 minutes. Maybe not that long. We just want it nice and bubbly. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of the Parmesan cheese on now. Layer that in there. All right. And I'm going to put all the ingredients and the correct amount per recipe. Now me just putting them in here, I'll put those down below in the description box, and as always on my website, gregs-kitchen.com. You can also find there the entire list of the other channels and the days we're doing that on my website, and they're down below. And there's also a link down below to the playlist for this year's Marching In with Casseroles. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the description, I got the playlist for the others too. So you got tons and tons of casserole recipes. Also, if you wait till the end of this video, you're going to see a little thumbnail pop up, and it does have the Marching In with Casseroles playlist there. You can click on that. And below that, I think on this one and Mom's last one, we got Easter recipes, because Easter's coming up next weekend. So we've got those started also. But we've got all that in there. So now we're just going to put in our second container of pasta, raviolis. And if you didn't want to put the chicken in there, you could use ground beef, you could use turkey. You could just use just about any kind of protein that you want. Put that in there. If you don't want the protein in there, get raviolis that already has the meat in it. They have chicken raviolis. I saw pepperoni raviolis today. They have all different kinds, so you can get those as well. All right, so I'm going to put just a partial layer on top here. We're going to do what we did with the last one. Just put the remaining Swiss chard in here. If I had my bench scraper, it'd probably be a little easier, but I'm not sure where I put it. So there's our Swiss chard. This time I put that down first. So I'm going to put the sauce on top because I don't really want as much Swiss chard poking through the top. So now we're just going to pour some of this sauce, not all of it, probably about half of this jar, because we're going to use the rest on the very top. All right. Put a little mozzarella cheese. Oops, forgot the chicken. Gotta get the remaining chicken on the second layer. And you can layer this any way you want. I'm just doing it in this way because that's the way I'm looking at the ingredients and I'm picking them up. So there's our last of our chicken. And we're going to put our cheese on top of there. And yes, I'm not putting a whole lot. You don't want it like mac and cheese and cheesy goodness. Well, you might. Mom would. Mom loves cheese. I love cheese too, but I'm not going to put as much on that. My hand was still wet, so the cheese is sticking to me. Let's dry that a little bit better. All right. And then we're going to put some Parmesan cheese in there. Don't need a whole lot. Now, I didn't put salt and pepper in here, mainly the salt, because this has got a lot of salt in it, the Parmesan cheese, and the sauces have a lot of salt in it, and there is some sodium in the raviolis. So now let's just put our basil over the top here. And we're going to get my thyme. Let's see, I got everything. Is that all there? Is that someone tell me what I'm missing out there? Are you all paying attention out there? Because I might have missed something. I think I got it all. Okay, so now let's finish this off with the last of the raviolis. Like I said, this is a 20 ounce. Is that what I said? 20 ounce? Yeah, 20 ounce package. So the frozen ones I think come in 64 and 32s. I'm not sure if you guys know. Someone can put that down below and let us know. But the frozen ones just take a little bit longer, and that's why I got this, because y'all are asking for something that you could put together really quick. Now we'll try to make these a little bit more tiled and pretty since it's our top layer. And you can just push down as you go. That's going to spread out all the layers down below evenly up against the side of the pan. This is starting to smell really good. I think I'm getting hungry. Okay, so there's that. Now remember, this is your top layer. This is the layer everybody's going to see and get first. So you might want to make it nice and pretty. I'm going to put the Parmesan cheese first because it doesn't melt as nice as the mozzarella. Oh, that sounds like what was her name? Giada? Trying to say that. Okay, now we're going to put the mozzarella, the remaining sauce. And I'm basically just dolloping it, trying to get it as much coverage and spread out as possible. All right. Now we'll put this remaining on here. I want another bit of the parsley this time. And I want chives. Speaking of chives, we've got chives growing everywhere up here. I don't know if you guys have them. If you look out in your yard or along the road, you see these big tufts of, it looks like grass that's maybe 8 to 12 inches taller than everything else that's starting to grow. Those are actually, if they're the right ones, they're wild onions, wild garlic, and you can dry the tops, dehydrate them, make chives, and use the garlic. I did that in a recipe last year a couple times when I cooked outside on the outdoor kitchen. And I'm going to be collecting a bunch of those chives. I'm going to try to do a little video of dehydrating them and what we can use those for. So believe it or not, it's just that easy. Everything's put together. I've got the oven already preheated at 350 degrees. I'm going to put it in there for about 20-25 minutes. I'm going to check it about 15 minutes and see what it looks like. And then I'll probably at that point put a little bit more mozzarella cheese over the top of it and some more chives, just decorate it and to make it pretty, and then we'll pull it out. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Y'all, it smells so good in here. This casserole looks beautiful. First, before I show it to you, you know we're going to have to decorate it. So let's get some of this parsley that Mom had dehydrated for us. Just get some more color on top. There we go. And some of you asked about this lid in one of my other videos. It's just a lid that pops right into it. They have wide mouth and small mouth. I'll put a link down below to my Amazon store where I got them from. Of course, you can't use it for canning, and it says it right on there, do not use for canning. But it keeps a nice tight seal and keeps everything nice and fresh. So I like that better than always having to screw on lids. So I thought I'd show you guys that. So let me lift this up and give you guys a view. There you go. Look at that. Oops, I'm going to drop it. Let's try that again. Give you one over here. Yeah, I know your mouth's watering. Mine is. So let me get this. I'm going to let it sit for a second because I know y'all are waiting for me to take a bite and burn my face. But I'm going to let it cool, and in that little bit of time, I'm going to tell you more about the collaboration. The reason we're doing this collaboration, actually, I started my first collaboration after my friend Miss Lori over at Whippoorwill Holler had me in one of her collaborations. And she said, because I was a brand new channel, and she said, we need to get your numbers up, get more people seeing you, and let people know that you're here. So I've started my own after I did that one and got a lot more people. I realize that there's a lot of smaller channels and a lot of really good smaller channels out there that are just starting, and I like to help them out a little bit, let everybody see what their content is. They've got some wonderful recipes. So that's why I did the first year with the collaboration. I invited a lot of people that were bigger channels and then a lot smaller channels, and so they could actually, you know, get more people seeing them, and their channels have grown. So it's my way of giving back to the small, you know, people are just starting out. I don't want to say smaller channels because they're great, but people are just starting out. I want them to be able to get more viewers and, you know, people seeing exactly what they're making. So that's why I started the collaboration. It took off. People ask me all year long, or talk to me all year long about, send messages, can't wait for the March Casseroles. Can you do another one later in the year? Mom and I have been talking about it, so we may do something in the fall, something around the holidays. I just don't like to step on other people's feet because there's a lot of good collaborations out there for the holidays. And in January, I think it's called Canuary, that one of the channels does. And so I don't want to, you know, to step on their feet. But we might just do another collaboration here soon so you guys can see more of the channels and get more recipes. And I'm just yakking away because I want this to cool. But also, on our collaboration, at the end of the collaboration, I'm going to give away a kitchen casserole package. It's going to have a food processor, 2 different sets of casserole dishes. One is a glass casserole dish, has 3 casserole dishes. The other stoneware, I think it has 2. 3 bamboo cutting boards, and a carrier for your casserole. Not just for one, but it's a double casserole carrier. I gave one away last year and everyone liked it. So this year I'm going to do the double. If you want to take 2 casseroles to a church picnic or party, you're going to someone's house, or you just take one, put all your utensils in the top. It works great. So that's going to be on the 31st. What I'll do is go through and I will pick one of the channels for, you know, out of the month, and then from that we'll use the random comment picker on the internet and pick one comment, and that person's going to win all those prizes. So that's why you need to go to everybody's video, like, subscribe, and make sure you put a comment, because if you don't have a comment on there and that's the video I picked, you don't have a chance to win. So I want everybody to have the same fair chance. So now that I've gabbed long enough, I'm going to try to cut a piece out of this. And I know Mom always, she pulls hers out every time she does a pie or a cake or something. Hers always comes out. She always says it's never going to come out, and it always comes out beautiful. Mine, on the other hand, I'm not as lucky. So let me see if I can slide this in here. I want to pull that cheese off the top. That cheese is nice and stretchy. There we go. Cut around the sides. See how lucky I get this time. And out it comes. I only lost a little bit there. We're going to grab that because that's going to be my bite. So I'm going to get that right over here. There we go. Put these out of the way. And okay, so let's give this a try. It's not steaming like it was. First thing I taste is garlic. I'm going to do Mom and have a second bite. Get in here. Excuse me. Let me wipe off my mouth full. Cream. This is delicious. The garlic sauce is nice and creamy. The raviolis are cooked just perfectly. Now I did cook it for 30 minutes. I said 20-25, it's 30 to 35 minutes. I took it out at about 25 minutes. I added mozzarella cheese across the top, put some more chives on it, put it back in. Cooked it till it melted, got a little brown and bubbly around the edges. This is one recipe you guys are going to want to try. You can, like I said, change it up any way you want with any kind of protein and whatever kind of, if you don't want to put the Swiss chard in there, you don't have to. You can put any green in. You can leave it out totally. But give this one a try. Please go over and check out everybody else's videos. Leave a comment. Don't forget that this Saturday is Mom's birthday. So wish her a happy birthday down below in the comments if you want. And until next time, you all take care. God bless, and we love you. Bye-bye.